my beloved Master Mooji. I was always wondering, when will I ever write to you? Every time it wasn't the right time. I am really happy. All you say about the mind attacks, that I can see. It is so funny. The mind is trying to convince the idea of me that I am miserable and many other things. I can see my body getting frustrated and angry, but I know it is not me. In fact, mind is miserable. I am not. Isn't it? How can anyone explain this? I thought that after seeing you in Montesaja, my whole life would change, but nothing did. Yet I am, and I am not. I cannot say anything, and I cannot doubt anything. I cannot even say I am. It just happens. It is here. Always here, my eternal love. Eleni from Cyprus. You remember this girl who came here? Yeah. She came for one day. And sometimes people come for one day. And I'm going to tell you, not long ago, few satsangs ago, one lady, she only ever watched on YouTube. And apparently she wrote a few times, but I never really got this letter, never connect this letter. Then she came from Finland for one day. She said, I just had to come to see you. And she sat in satsang right where you are, like this, in front of me. It's right there, she comes sit there. And then she said to me, I heard you. You said, wherever you are, remember this, wherever you are, whatever your circumstances may be, whatever they can be, wherever you find yourself, right there is a door to your inmost being. Mooji, I found it. I found it. Thank you. I said, my God. I said, I am. And you know when someone speaks something and there's no doubt, they're not fishing for compliments, they're not seeking acceptance, they're just sharing this thing. I was so touched. I said to her, you only come for one day, you must come again. She said, it is not necessary. Wherever I am, you are with me, I am here, it is like this. I said, but I've not heard anything like that before. I have not heard anything like this before. Dear Mooji, I've been watching your videos a year ago and successfully got rid of the mind. Back then, I developed a skill of inner looking, where I knew how to look deeply in my heart for all the answers, so the noise and illusions of the mind couldn't bother me, and even started to disappear. Then, when I needed to progress and do something, I was afraid the most I couldn't do it. Let me read this again. Then, when I needed to progress and do something, I was afraid the most I couldn't do it. The mind came back with full power, like you always say, and I gave up and started to shut down. I am 19 years old, and it's not such a comforting fact that everybody I know is asleep. And the few with whom I can talk about such things gave up and let egoic mind run their lives, which I definitely don't want to. I'd like you to advise on how to deal with this fear of progress with which my mind blackmailed me. Thank you in advance. Much love, as EZ. I never heard this name also. I'm 19 years old. I'm watching your videos since a year got rid of my mind. Back then I developed a skill of inner looking where I knew how to look deeply in my heart for all the answers, so the noise and illusions of the mind couldn't bother me and even started to disappear. And then, when I needed to progress and do something I was afraid, the most I couldn't do it. So here's where it started. I was looking for this. Then when I needed to progress and to do something. What it means. When I needed to progress and to do something. And this, I would want to look at this, you see. I want to look at this as with you sitting right next to me and you explain what it means, this one. Everything's fine. Now you looked inside your heart, no? You looked inside. And now somehow you saw through all the illusions, all this cunningness and the scams of the mind. And it even began to lose power. It's disappearing, no? And then, when I needed to progress and to do something, who is going to progress and do something? Now, we want to stop because maybe I'll stop this letter after this. There's a few letters, but enough. If you can give your attention on this for me. All this you've done. Then when I needed to progress and do something, I was afraid the most I couldn't do it. Then the mind came back with full power. The mind is always trying to come back. And he found a way back. Why? Because you bought this notion, I need to progress. You bought a notion that the world is selling very easy to everybody. You need to move on, you need to progress, you need to do this. And nobody understands what it is. Progress means what? I need to go, I need to study, I need to get a job. I need. And it seems unquestionable. Why shouldn't you? Everybody else. Join in, you must do your part. But is this the single line of the universe? Everybody must do this thing like this? Is there not other ways? Very few beings. So they say right now 8 billion human beings are alive as contemporaries on the planet right now. And we've all gone to, most of us go to school, we have some conditioning. Everybody has some conditioning. All the Jesus Christs of this world and the Mohammeds and the Krishnas and the Shivas, they had a upbringing also. You have to go and do something. And also this is an expression of consciousness. Who can deny? Consciousness also is playing through all these streams. But not every shoe fits each person. You will find your way. How will you find your way? When the big river is going, everybody's going to the big river. But you're feeling somehow to go off to the side. How will you find your way? Is your way less? Then you must trust. You have to learn to keep quiet. If there blossoms in your heart a desire for truth, grace will come to you and take you home, guide you home. Because many of these things, the mind is full of this. You must do this, you know. Look, your friends, you know, we've all done the age count. By the time I'm 25, I need to do this. Right? How old was you? How old was Picasso when he was? He made his picture when he was 18. Oh my God, I'm 23. I've passed my best. I can't compete. You see, all ego. Learn to compare, and to grow, and this is what the world value. It is fine. Up to a point, we must go through that flow up to a point. But something has already called you, you see, to look inside. It's pulled you out of the river. You sit here and you look. You have chosen to look inside yourself. You find this now. But the river is calling you, oh, progress. Oh. When I went for progress, the self does not need to progress. It is always perfect. first you find the self. In its presence, everything seems perfect. But you try and be perfect, and everything seems imperfect. Just be yourself. Be happy. For a while, the world does not comprehend, does not value this happiness. It has to rub its eyes many times to see. You're happy? Yeah, I'm happy. Yeah, but you didn't finish your studies. Yeah, but I am happy. Where's your car? Where's your house? This is my house. This is my house. If you're looking for me and you see this house, I'm quite likely there. Oh, what are you saying? What is happy? How can you be happy you have nothing? Whether you have something or nothing doesn't make it not what it's about. No? So, then when I needed to progress and to do something, I was afraid the most. I couldn't do it. The mind came back with full power, like you always say in brackets. And I gave up and started to shut down. Something begins to shut down. But this shutdown is also not true. The progress is not true. The failure is not true. This is just in the play, in the theater of consciousness and the mind. It is playing. This is not your true self. If I can impart anything to anyone, I'll show you. I don't only want to tell you, I want to show you. But I need you as a guinea pig, because you have to find it in yourself. I want to show you in you. You see? I gave up and started to shut down. This is the experience. We are not living as ourselves. We're living in the idea we have of ourselves. The idea you have of who you are is suffering from its own projections. Our self-image is suffering from its own projection. But your self-image is not you. It's not yourself. It's just an idea. And we keep on changing ideas by the law of life. I am 19 years old. So beautiful. 19 years old. And it's not such a comforting fact that everyone I know is asleep. Everybody I know is asleep. It's not arrogance to say this. Some wisdom is here. I don't smell arrogance here yet. Everybody I know is asleep. Why? And the few with whom I can talk, this is why he's telling you. Why they asleep? Because I cannot talk to you about such things. My mother, my sister, my brother, we love each other. But I cannot talk to them about such things as the inmost being. Why? Because they are asleep. Oh, their eyes are bright. They got the Armani suit. Everything is there. But it's only pajamas. They are sleeping to the self. They are sleeping. And the few with whom I can talk about such things gave up and let egoic mind run their lives, which I definitely don't want to. You have not failed yet. I know this letter so intimately. I know I could have written this letter, this part of it. For the number of beings in whom the calling came inside. The flame was ablaze. But something is distracting. Seems distracting. And it's not because the thing is distracting out there, but because it's attracting something in here. Something in here wants, I want something, and then this thing can give me. So if this thing can give me the thing I want, I won't chop him. I can't chop him. You see, he is my benefactor. How am I going to chop him? How are you going to chop the mind when you want something from the mind? You won't chop him. Yeah? Not that the mind needs chopping. What needs to be chopped is your attachment and your delusion towards the mind needs chopping. Then the mind himself will be happy. So many beings came and eat at the table, drink from the same cup. But then something come. That you want something, and then you feel you exchange your freedom for this thing. Like for a while, we honor something more than our freedom. I'd like your advice on how to deal with this fear of progress. The best way to deal with the fear of progress is to drop the idea about progress. Drop the idea about progress. Let other people talk about it. But you don't know what it means. They'll say, hey man, you really progressed really well. I say, yeah? Thank you. But you don't know what it means. Progress is for others. Let them see progress in you. But don't say, oh, I want to progress. Because in order to progress, you have to become another kind of person with an idea, I need to progress. That's not to say that you must not be more creative. Suppose I enjoy painting. Then I just out of my joy, progress happen, isn't it? But if I say I want to progress, I want to be successful, no, that's a different thing. If you say I love painting, I just love painting. I just totally love horse riding. Nothing wrong with this. This is consciousness's joy. But if you say I want to be the best horse rider, then trouble comes. This is written a very beautiful letter. A letter that you can write on behalf of many beings. Sometimes some people write some things and they open a door, many beings can come through that door. You see? Sometimes you open a door, only you can go. Only you go, and a valve closed behind you. Nobody else can go. But some beings, they open a door, and many beings, they even stay and open, and many beings, come. The arms are getting tight. Come. Run. Many beings can come. You see? They are the Mahatmas of the world. They are not concerned with their own salvation. You see? They just have that spirit. They don't have to even express it only like that. It's like Bob Marley. Bob Marley say what? If freedom is only for me, I don't want it. What am I going to do with it? It has to be for everybody. If food is only for me, I don't want it. It's cursed. Let it be for everybody. Isn't it? What will I lose if others eat with me, are also free? If it's just for me, who am I? I don't want it. It's a curse. Give it to everybody and I'll enjoy it. Dear Mooji, please, what is the best question to ask you? How to be touched in the same way you were? I am. My touch, my kiss is not nostalgia. Your life will become a long kiss. I say many times yes inside, but still see that maybe it was not a real yes. There's a lot of judgment in the mind, feeling very spiritual and better. Please break my ego. Have no compassion with it. Ah, yeah. I don't support people's conversations. I don't have friends and I don't want any. Just my husband and to take care of my children. This is good. I don't support people's conversations, meaning that if they want to just come for a chat, I'm not really going to fan the flames of some chat. I don't have friends and I don't want any. This is pretty good. Friendly with all, friends with none. I first heard my master say this thing. He says, I don't have any friends and I don't want any. Wow. That's strong. Hang on a second. Where I grew up, we say, new friends are silver, old friends are gold. We have a lot of sentiment towards friendship. Oh yes, a good friend is a good friend indeed. All this type of stuff. The master said, I don't have any friends. I don't want any. Why, Papaji? Even in satsang, there was one Swamiji. We call him Swamiji. Always dressed in traditional Indian monk's robe, orange robe. Always neat, sit there. Nice, beautiful men sit there. And he said he was friend of Papaji. But Papaji gave nothing of this sort. Look. But I'm sure in the heart there, he has this beautiful friendship there. But he didn't want. Don't get cloudy about it, okay? Just my husband and to take care of my children. I thought I was spiritual. I thought my life had sense because I decided for freedom. But I just listen to what my mind has to say about everything. I see. I thought I was spiritual. I thought my life had sense because I decided for freedom. But I just listening what my mind has to say about everything. There is fear. It feels bigger than me. The fear of getting fat. I'm eating a lot in this time. And the fear of being judged by others. I am desperate. Please help. Something has to happen. My beloved, merge me with you. Always at your feet with love, Maria Lourdes. Lourdes. Lourdes? Maria. You are so here with this. You're so here. Everything you have done. But I'm just listening to my mind and what it has to say about everything. This you have to watch. Something subtle to see. The one who is listening to the mind. It is yourself, but it's not your completeness. It is an aspect of the self. The cultivated self, the cultured self, the constructed self is listening to the mind. You see? And like this, then judgment is going to come. That's why you yourself feel that you are afraid to be judged by others also. Because judgment will come. When you start to look, listen to what your mind says, then judgment will come in your head. Look at them. I'm better than this one. Or this one, so and so. It's just unavoidable. And once you start to judge others, you are afraid also to be judged. It seeps in like that. You see? There's fear. It is bigger than me. The fear of getting fat, because I'm eating a lot this time. And the fear of being judged by others. So, I am desperate. Please help me. Something has to happen. Yeah. Sometimes your life has to be pushed to the very edge of itself. Internally, emotionally, psychologically, psychically, physically even sometimes. Because in the middle, you just roll along. But come to the edge, And you say here, I am desperate. I say, when you are curious, you learn. When you're desperate, you discover. You have to discover. And you are saying, please help me. Something has to happen. Sometimes your life comes to such an edge that something has to happen. Either you're in a state of waiting, or you go into a kind of samadhi actually. At the most tense moment, everything vanishes. Like that. It is not a bad thing. It's not the most comfortable, but it's not a bad thing to be driven to the edge of yourself. To the edge where you don't know. What is next, you don't know. What is past, you don't care. And this will trigger a deeper power to emerge from underneath. But it will not come from your thinking. Sometimes you have exhausted your capacity to think. Now you must only feel and experience. And I embrace you. I embrace you with my whole heart. Because you say yes. Don't draw up a whole sub-list underneath yes. Just yes. I have chosen freedom. Not just I want. I'm choosing, whatever that means. I'm choosing that. There is nothing else. Fortunate are you if you come to see there's nothing that can surmount that, that can surpass that. I just have to be free. I have to be what I am. I cannot continue to give so much energy to be what I am not, or what others project that I should be, and I perceive that they conceive of that of myself. I show everything. And maybe for a while, you're not going to be good company for anybody. So don't go looking for friends. Nobody will want to be in your company. You have to walk through the wilderness of your own self. And you'll find yourself somehow perched on the edge of your bed. But your attention must turn fully inside. Baptize your attention inside your own self. There are no techniques here. Come to the place where there are no techniques. And stay there. Someone will come for you.